Welcome to Spring Mill Park. I'm Tom the Miller. This video here, we're going to start at the cave, the Hamer Cave, where the water starts, all the way to grinding the corn inside the mill. We'll now go over to the trail and go up to the cave. Here we have the trail going up to Hamer Cave. We'll go up there and look at the water coming out of the cave. That is the source of the water that drives the mill. Here we have Hamer Cave. This is where the water comes out of for the mill. It's also the beginning of Mill Creek. Here we have the beginning of the flume, which runs about 600 feet all the way down to the mill. This is the water that's going to turn the big wheel. Here we have the flume as it approaches the mill before the water goes over the big wheel.
Now we'll go inside and look at the gears.
Here we have the main shaft. It's 23 foot long from the outside of the wheel to inside the building here. On the end we have carrier bearing. They're also called a grunion there. It fits into the end of the shaft like a cross. Then they take the bands, tighten it down, that keeps it in place. On the other end is what they call a king or pit gear. It's the main gear from off of the main shaft. So after that is what they call the wallower gear or lantern gear. It is fastened to the lathe shaft, which turns the other pinion gear behind it. So let's go take a look on the other side of the pinion gear. Here on the other end of the lathe shaft, we have the pinion gear on it. If you see, we'll have a carrier bearing on each end of the lathe shaft. Now this timber here that you see with the handle on it, that is what we move back and forth. Below that timber is a lantern gear that will engage with this pinion gear, so we can take it out of gear and freewheel it or put it in gear and grind some corn. Down below is what they call a hearse. It's a bunch of timber. What it does, it supports the gears and it runs all the way to the ground or to the rock bed, and it supports it so that the vibration does not vibrate the building and cause damage. As you see down below the hearse are the gears down in the basement. So next we'll take a look at the parts of the grinding station. Here we have the grinding station. Up above here we see the hopper. That's where we put our corn before it's being ground. As you see, we got corn in it right now. Down below, the corn falls into a chute, or what they call a shoe. It looks like a trough with a handle on it. In front is what they call the shoe handle. It rides on a shaft here called a danzel. The ridges on the shaft vibrates the shoe handle, causes the corn to fall down into the eye of the stone. If you look down, we already have corn into the eye of the stone waiting to be ground. And if you look, the iron cross down there is called a ryan. That's what supports the upper stone. Here on the shoe handle, we have a leather strap. It's called a crook string. It comes up front, ties to the knob. We can turn this knob and raise or lower the shoe, and that increases or decreases the corn being fed into the eye of the stone. All of this rests on what they call a horse. It supports all the hopper and all the other items there. Here we have the stones. The stones are granite, came out of North Carolina. There's two stones. There's a runner stone on top. It's the only one that turns, and the bed stone on the bottom. And then as we come out to the front, you'll see the casing around the stones, and you'll see the box where the cornmeal goes into. Here we are above on the ground floor with the wheel grinding. Now we'll go over and watch the stones. And as the corn come out of the shoe, Up here in front is where the corn meal comes out. It is capable of doing 600 pounds an hour. So if you want to see more, come on down to Spring Mill. Thank you.